Guys, I want to invite you to our Facebook group. It's Owner Operator Forum. So if you join, you're going to be with a lot of like-minded people, trucking business oriented. Jose and I are there answering questions. We have a lot of behind the scenes and extra footage. So Owner Operator Forum Facebook group. Join right now. We're also hiring. If you're a driver or an owner operator looking for a safe place and a good place to be, head us up at erateam.us. It's erateam.us, and you will have instructions how to reach out to us, and we would be more than happy to have you on our team.
Welcome to Truck You Podcast, guys. My name is Jose.
My name is Sebastian. I almost thought you were going to say my name is Sebastian.
Won't be making that mistake.
How's it going?
Good, brother.
Good. Today we have what? What do we have today?
What trucks to look at while the market is tough?
Yeah. When we've been getting questions, we'll get the questions. We have Q&A later. We have a bunch of questions from you guys, but we wanted to talk about a few trucks that we think
are worth
you
looking
possibly could look at and consider as an option, but with the very important part, Chrome won't get you home.
Oh, that's right. Got that right.
You don't have to. Those are not trucks that are going to look pretty and be something that you want to show off to your family and cousins. Right? What do you? What's been happening in the shop?
Right now we're getting our glider right here. We're getting the counterboards done on that, so we're moving on that. Overhaul kit right next to it. We have what else we got in the back? Oh, we have a DPF going on. DPF DLC going on right now. Cleaning.
Yeah, we get that pretty quick. We're working with a new company.
We also have Cascadia, the new owner that purchased.
Yes, which we're going to do a video on.
We should definitely do a video on that one.
We have another one that some other owner came in with a Cascadia, and we'll see. Similar story, but I would like to do a study of a truck that somebody bought in peak season and why and prices and all that stuff.
Okay.
A good case study.
Transstar.
Transstar is getting some work done. I saw you shot some stuff. You're not done though, or you just started shooting?
Just started shooting something on it.
Okay. So yeah, our Transstar is getting some work done, and it starts, it runs.
Yeah, definitely.
As we just have to.
Oh, we have to do the service on it.
Yeah,
obviously.
One brake, one side. I think I don't know if Rich actually talked about. He's almost done with it. I think he has to do the front.
Yeah, he did the 3 of the drive ones. I think he has one more to do.
One more left. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, what trucks do you think are worth looking at if you're in the market? What's truck number one that we think is a good one, a good option, alternative that we wouldn't really otherwise look at?
Besides the Volvo and the Fireliner? I would even start looking at a Kenworth T600. I mean, why not?
Yes, and we don't have that on the list. I made the list. So Kenworth T600, I was thinking about that, but the 660 and then the later models, the Cummins, right?
Correct.
That's something but that's a truck that is kind of people are looking for it. You know what I mean?
So it's going to be hot.
Everybody wants to drive a Kenworth, and they always usually keep their prices anyway. But what about a ProStar?
ProStar with a Cummins, though.
Is
definitely,
it? Yeah, I think so. That's an option. What years and what should we tell potentially somebody looking at ProStar? We had some of our Owner Operator Forum members ask that question, and I thought like, hey, that's a good angle to maybe tackle, is what trucks can we look at, right? So ProStar with Cummins, but some tips on what to look for.
Tips would be your major oil leaks, like we always mention. Typical
stuff and typical engine things.
Yeah. Make sure you get a pre-purchase inspection.
Let's briefly touch on it, because I don't want somebody to go out and look for episodes that we talk about that, because there's a lot. But just briefly on the ISX, what you got to look out in what years?
Cold start. Once you get there, oil pressure. Make sure you got a good oil pressure on the cold. Once it warms up, it's going to drop, but make sure it doesn't drop too much, which would be like 20. Anything below 20 is kind of little like a warning sign,
Yeah. Yeah.
Might have to do the bottom end or oil pump. Blow by, take a look at the blow by, but that goes across the board on all the engines.
Mm-hmm. And this particularly with the ProStar model, the interior. Obviously, I don't know that it doesn't really matter if the truck is in good condition. The interiors will fall apart too because they weren't just. That
Actually,
good.
those ProStars are pretty durable on the inside, on the interior.
I think I have a little bit different opinion.
Depends
but
who's
maybe
driving it,
I've
though.
seen a different batch than you did, so that's not a rule. I wouldn't make it a rule. Just keep an eye that you'll see based on the maintenance if the truck was taken care of or not. You know, the interior is a secondary thing. Just
Well, I'm speaking
Not a big
as like the dash part. That's more durable than a
Freightliner, you think?
Freightliner. Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, because we agree Volvo has the most durable
Yeah.
dash. What about Peterbilt and Kenworth?
Those are up there as well. Those
They're durable.
yeah,
'cause
they're durable.
They're
yeah.
built well and they're simple. They're not. I don't know about the newer ones. To be honest with you, with the aero trucks, like any aero Peterbilt or Kenworth, I have never seen a high mileage one yet.
And I would say when we're talking about a Freightliner, it would be more of a Coronado or Columbia Center because the Cascadas, those seem to have a better dash.
They seem to be better, but the cabinets still fall apart.
Oh yeah, they're all hitting all the bumps. You hear everything.
Yeah, but Volvo is Volvo also has that issue. It's just the shaking and so. But the dash itself. Well, let's not talk about the cabinets. The dash itself. But that's one truck. All right, ProStar with Cummins, and
another one would be Mack.
okay.
Or you know what?
We're forgetting Western Star.
Western Star.
What about that Western Star? Because we've never mentioned those Western Stars. AC just kicked in. We forgot to turn it off. That's fine.
So those Western Stars, they come with Series 60. There's some that are still out there. Some C15s in them. MB4000s. Cummins. And then you get the DD platform, which is...
Your favorite engine.
Oh, absolutely. Keep me busy.
I saw your DD15 tattoo on your arm.
Got to start my sleeve somehow.
Next to your Dolphin. It's a DD15 Dolphin. So the Western Star is definitely something that you could look into. I kind of like the way they look.
Like a classic look.
Yeah, they're not bad. They actually have they make them gliders too.
Yeah, they do have a couple of them.
If you could find a glider Western Star, that's awesome.
Go for it.
Yeah. Right, next one. What's other truck that we could look at?
What's
Pinnacle.
another one? Pinnacle?
The Mack Pinnacle. Mm-hmm. Somebody asked that question, and I think that's a valid maybe alternative because of what? Why do you think it's? You think is it a good truck? You think?
I would say suspension-wise, like rear suspension, it's pretty damn similar to the Volvos.
Mm-hmm.
What else?
So we know so let's talk about components of the Pinnacle because let's briefly recap. 2008 is when Mack was acquired by Volvo. So it took a while, and then they started using the same components for Macks. So Pinnacle came out in 2006,
and that was released with the MP7,
which is D11.
D11.
So, and then later on, it came with the
MP8,
MP8, and that's the D13.
D13.
So everything crosses over, right? MP8, D13, all the parts.
Turbos and
Different
interchangeable
color.
injectors, cams.
And MP8 is red, right?
Yeah.
So
It's like a red burgundy color, yeah.
red burgundy, and then green Volvo.
Volvo.
If you mix parts, you get a Christmas engine.
There you go. You got it.
Red and green.
Let's just
But-
hope you don't got no Christmas lights on the dash.
I know. And then, so what about suspension components? You mentioned that earlier.
I'm, if I'm not mistaken, the airbags are interchangeable. Shocks on the drive for sure. Up in the front, you can go with different axles, so that's going to vary, obviously.
Mhm.
But
Yeah, so that's a good alternative. I think those three are worth mentioning. If you guys have any other ideas, comment to let us know in the comments. And check out the Owner Operator Facebook group. We have a lot of fun there, and we're gonna do Facebook Live soon.
All right, cool.
So you're gonna see a lot of extra stuff coming your way. We're working on it right now. Pro Star we're with Cummins, Western Star, and Pinnacle is something
Pinnacle,
that
yeah.
you could alternatively look at. Let's get the questions because we have a lot of them, and I want to address them because we would like to have more time to get to those, and I hope we can figure out a way to help everybody get to their questions. We should do lives. I want to do lives so we can get to those, but that's down the road. Okay, question number 1: does anyone know about Mac Pinnacle? Oh, there you go. Which is actually perfect segue to what we're doing is about Mac Pinnacle. Nowadays, at this crazy uncontrollable truck market, it is hard to find a Volvo or Freightliner at a decent price. The only one seems and stays a reasonable price is the Pinnacle. Well, we just said,
Yeah.
definitely look at the same thing that we talk about D13. Just make sure you do the same thing with the MP8. Another one. What do some of the most favorable owner-operators leases look like for the driver, 93% to driver? What do these contracts look like? Who pays for what initially? What are some creative contracts you all have seen? That's a question that it's so complex for me. It would take. It's like a separate episode almost. I think I'm going to do a separate episode about leases because this is too much.
Would that be like a lease to own, or that's like?
So see that you can take it apart in any way because some owner operated leases look like he's not specific, but that's fine. I think it's a valid topic for a full podcast. It's because you can always look at the percentage. Like there's a lot of hidden things into it. Like if you're only looking at 90-10, 80-20, well, you have to understand what work you're doing and what's in that percentage and why is it that way. And I would like to take apart a Landstar lease contract too, but that's down the road. 2016 International Pro Star with ISX Cummins. Good combo. I know the international engines have a bad reputation, but what else is bad about the truck itself? Mike Krashinsky. The other question about the leases was from Austin Matthew. What do you think? Mike Krashinsky's asking about that Pro Star. We just mentioned it.
I would say that's a good combo. Good combo.
Check it out. Make sure you do research on the Cummins ISX and trans. I would say stay away from automatics.
I mean, if it's gonna come with an automatic, it's gonna be that Gen 3 Fuller.
Ethan Fuller, yeah.
Yeah.
But again, we've been learning more and more about and we knew that for a while that automatics are nice, but they're a little bit more expensive.
To maintain.
Is there a website where I can go to find out the value of my 2007 T600? It's running good right now, but it's 2021. But it's 2021. Oh, so he means he has an old truck. T600.
There you go. And we're talking about the T600s right there.
We did. We talk about it. What's the value? We would have to. That's Garza Anna. What
engine mileage?
We don't have that info.
Yeah.
We would have to get more info. But I would say, why are you trying to sell? Are you getting out of trucking?
Keep that. Yeah.
Yeah. If you're getting out of based on what we know, if you're staying in trucking, I would say keep it. I would like to know more, but from what I'm seeing, it is a T600 2007, great year. And if you've had that for a while, don't look at it as a car.
It's old.
2021 doesn't matter anything. It's
a moneymaker.
14, 15 years old. Who cares? It's the same thing that you see in the 2018. You just rebuild it, or based on what we know, I would say why. If you're getting out, then that's a different question. So comment, let us know. We'll get back to you. Next one. I've been ripped off twice and almost lost my truck twice a few years ago. The difference now is my tractor is paid for. I see all these ads wanting owner operators that are paying $8,000 to $15,000 a week gross. Is any true owner operator leased on with these companies? Is any true owner operator leased on with these companies, and are they truly trustworthy? I'm leased on with the company now and make about $3,000 after expenses. It's not as much as some owner operators make. It is steady and dependable. Frank. Okay, this is a loaded question, but I'm going to try to compact it. The talk about gross and what owner ops are saying, I'm making 15,000, I'm making 10,000, I'm making 20,000 a week. You have to take it with a grain of salt because of two reasons. A lot of guys just talk about numbers, they don't really understand them, especially with gross income. And how I like he's like, hey, after expense I have 3, and that's actually a number that you can start. You understand because he knows he's looking at everything.
After expenses.
I'm thinking he's making 6,000-7,000 maybe.
Yeah.
But if you're hearing that narrative that owner operators make money, well, yeah, but you're in a strong market, and if you have a relationship with somebody that's been going on for years, for a long time, you can choose to go to capitalize on the high spot market, or you choose to continue a relationship with the company that you've been for a while, right? And then you have to understand that the work is going to be completely different. The people that will give you the work, it's a completely different dynamic, but because now you're running spot, it's unpredictable, it's not steady. This is not the biggest, I feel, with owners coming our way, like, well, I want to make what the guys do on the rates are high. Trucks are, I'm like, yeah, but what type of work? Not the one that you want to do home every day and work 10 hours. So there's a lot of misunderstanding around that. But as any business, you have to assess and make best decisions for yourself, right? Maybe if you are going to double your net income, maybe you should think about that and capitalize on the time. Hey, I'm going to go OTR for a few weeks, for a few months. You know what? Like, why not? You know, so you can't compare apples to oranges without understanding everything else. And then just talking about gross revenues doesn't do anybody any favors.
Well, they're only talking about the good weeks. They don't explain that nobody ever wants to talk about the bad side. Hey, I had a bad week, bad month, etc. Mm-hmm. You're not always going to hit those 15.
And nobody really wants to share their bad stuff that's going on, or the mess ups they had a year ago that almost put them out of business, exactly. Right? Which is what I would like to do with our own operator forum is, hey, this is a safe place to talk about those things, and we're here to help. This is not, nobody's judging anybody here. Hopefully that culture stays. The bigger the forum gets, the more the culture is like, hey, let's help each other out and not like judge. I will never allow that. I don't want anybody to like say crap about anybody. It's like, hey, well, let's figure this out. If you have a problem, bring it to the table. We're going to try to help you tackle it, right? Any advice how to pre-purchase inspection? How to do a pre-purchase inspection? What should I check on them? And is there a possibility to check the original miles? We talked about it. We have few videos on around that. Just do as much homework as you can. That's what we always say. Specs, truck is live of the truck. What are you looking for? What are you gonna do as far as the type of operation you're looking for? If you go through our channel, there's a lot of information.
Hire a guy to go out with you and just hook up the laptop, have him run some tests, and just to re-verify the ECM mileage is accurate. Mm-hmm. It's worth spending that money.
Yes. I would like to know what would be better to purchase, considering I'm aiming for the best fuel economy. I'm considering trucks year 2007, so my options are Volvo 2007 with D12 or Freightliner 2007 with D60. Both are with EGR valves, but which would be getting best fuel economy, running from Detroit, Michigan to Texas, Laredo, Texas, and back. As a second point, which would give better reliability. What will give me a better reliability? Malika.
That would depend on the mileage on the engines. Mm-hmm. Series 60, that year, I don't see it going past 1,200,000, to be honest with you. So you might be doing some engine work on that. Those D12s, we know those are bulletproof. Those will run.
Yeah, we talk about them a lot, but we speak from experience as far as failure rate of what we've actually owned and had. It's a lot lower than we see with, let's say, Series 60. We had a lot more issues with Series 60, even though it's a great engine. That's why we believe in D12. Because of the ratio, we had a lot more D12s. We had a decent amount of Series 60, and we had more problems with Series 60 than we had with D12s.
I would say the issues came down to obviously being a bad, I wouldn't say a bad rebuild, but just quality wasn't there for the components that were installed.
Yeah. But even if they were, well, I'll take that back. Because we took out that Detroit rebuild that they did, and it still looks at 1.3. It's still, the liners are not, there's, you could literally run on it for another few years.
This one right here, this Coronado. Yeah.
It was a really good rebuild.
The only reason we're doing it is we had the head out removed already, and we might as well.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what I would say. 780 D12 for that run. That would be a nice truck.
780, yeah.
Michigan
definitely.
to Texas, right? You have a big
You're gonna
780.
need the room.
Yeah, it's needle in a haystack, but you could find a good truck. I would say it'd probably go like mid-30s right now.
Right now, yeah.
You know what I mean? That's if you find a 780.
Especially for that year, 07.
Not a rusty 780 D12. That's
And see, that's the thing. He's going to struggle more finding a 07 with a good frame on a Volvo side compared to a Freightliner. You know, we seen that the Freightliners, the frames, for some reason, they held up a little bit better.
Does anybody here use the FAST system on their truck? If so, what gallons per hour did you get? I'm looking to get one. Just want to see what other people think of it. I have 2006 Friendly Columbia 14-liter Detroit. I'm looking for feedback on fuel mileage. Frank Skelton. Do you know what the FAST system is?
That's the fuel air separation system, I believe.
Yeah. Well, I've
So-
heard nothing but good things. I've never used it.
Yeah, I only got one of my buddies that has it, so I'm going to have to...
I don't know
Get
anything
what
about
I
it. I have. Is it worth it? I from what I know, I think it is.
It is, yeah.
And especially if you have a truck that you really take care of, like he's got that 6 Columbia. I'm assuming he's had it for a long time.
Yeah.
If you have the money, it's not gonna hurt. It's helping to get the air out of it, and better fuel delivery, and it's you're gonna save on injectors.
Yeah. Why not?
You know what I mean?
It's an investment.
What is the best starter truck if you're new to semis and lowest maintenance? Used truck, Theo Everest. The number one question we always say, what's a good starter truck?
You already know.
Yeah.
Volvo.
Yeah, or find a glider if you have the money, you know. But
if you find one for a good price right now.
the best truck for somebody that gets into it is if you're staying away from emissions.
Definitely.
That should be our answer. Because there's many different ways you can do it. But next one is, anyone have any recommendations on scan tool that can be used on a 2015 Cascadia with a Detroit motor? I want to be able to diagnose as many issues as possible, as well as possibly change my governor settings. Preferably not $5,000. Scott Korber. Well, there are some on the market, and
I mean, how often are you going to be changing your governor settings? You can pay your local shop just to do that once, and you don't have to do a big investment.
Mm-hmm. I want to be able to diagnose as many issues as possible, as well as change my governor.
So
Pay the shop for the governor, but diagnostics?
probably a quick scan tool just to hook up, just to read the codes, code reader.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If you read the codes, then Google it. Is there a need for somebody to buy an expensive diagnostics tool? No. You really don't need that. You're never going to perform anything there unless you want to learn, and then maybe do your forced regions and all the other things that you could, but then you're only going to be able to do it with something that actually is expensive.
Yeah, definitely. And you have to pay that subscription.
Mm-hmm. List the best sites you had luck purchasing used semi trucks from. Joel. Best sites to buy trucks.
Most common one that I grew up with was truck paper.
Truck
Paper, yeah.
Truck paper, Facebook Market, Craigslist.
Yeah.
And auctions websites, do some of research on Google, and dig in deeper and to not only page number one. But
did you ever purchase any trucks from auctions?
I sold, but not,
sold.
I never bought. No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't because
You're taking that risk.
you're taking that risk. But I'm trying to think. Have I bought some? I don't remember. No, so only sold. And the reason is I didn't have to. I was getting good prices from my
fleets, right?
people, and it's just time as well. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's pretty much what we got covered. I think we covered. And we covered most of the questions that were coming in. Let us know about a format that you guys would want, maybe YouTube Live or Facebook Live, or I don't know. You know what I mean?
To answer the questions?
Yeah, I wanted to make it. We'll try different things, see what works. But what do you got going on today?
I got a steering shaft, this Volvo right here. So I'm definitely gonna record this. So I'm in the cab. I turn the wheel all the way to the left. Put it back to the center. Steering wheel straight. Go to the right, a couple turns. Bring it back to the center, and the steering wheel is it's offset by a couple degrees. So steering shaft,
Yeah.
it's skipping inside.
Yeah, that's a good video to show. Well, let's get back to our day, and thank you guys for watching. Let us know what do you guys think. Owner Operator Forum, check it out. Check out our United by Diesel hats. We're gonna keep working on that website and add more things. And yeah, let us know, give us feedback, engage. Owner Operator Forum on Facebook. Thank you guys for watching. Subscribe if you liked it, share, and we'll talk to you soon.